What's going on, everyone? Anon TCG here, and it's time to walk through day two of the TCG Player Cyber Weekend sale. And we're starting to see some trends across these sets, which are really fascinating. So let's walk through the sealed product really quickly, and then let's walk through the best-selling singles in Scarlet and Violet. And it's a super fascinating picture here. So the way I have this set up is on the left side, I have the set, then I have the booster box, day one, day two sales, and then the total listed supply. Now I did adjust this, because there's some, idiots out there that had like 100 boxes at $10,000 a box. So I took all those out for the most part. So this is reflective of the true listed supply. I think, obviously there's more out there, but this just gives you some order of magnitude on each set. And then columns E, F, and G, border box or booster box case, day one sales, day two sales, and listed supply. And then H is just total sales. So boxes plus number of cases times 6, the sum of those two, then total supply, and wasn't reprinted recently. And I'll caveat the SV base. Obviously, that was reprinted earlier this year. When I say recent reprints, I'm saying in the last 4 to 6 weeks with a sizable amount to distro to the point where it's somewhat open order. So, let's start with Scarlet and Violet base. 97 booster boxes day one, 31 day two. Overall supply 347 boxes. It's starting to get eaten up a little bit. Booster cases 11 day one, none day two, 19 total supply. So you look at this, 194 total sales, 461 boxes of supply. This probably has a long runway before the supply starts to dry up on this, to be honest. You're probably talking a couple months. It's selling 4 or 5 booster boxes a day outside of the sale. Paldea Evolve, this one is it was batshit crazy yesterday, and it was kind of inversely head scratching today. So 301 boxes yesterday, only 36 today. Now, what's interesting is there's only 310 boxes of supply, but this just got a fairly sizable reprint. To me, it seemed like multiple waves, but I think the different distributors got their product in a staggered fashion. I believe PhD was the last group to get it. I know Magazine Exchange still has it for open order at about $120 per box. That is on their public site, so that's not non-public information. 45 cases day one, 10 cases day two, and 81 cases of total supply. So 667 total boxes sold, 796 boxes of total supply. Obviously, recently reprinted. I think this is going to be interesting because in another 4, 5, 6 weeks, the supply of this is going to tighten up again, and these boxes are going to push north of MSRP. And if I had to guess, after Twilight sells out at Pokemon Center, Paldea Evolve is going to be the next one. Obsidian Flames, probably my least favorite set next to SV base and SV base. I mean, base sets are what they are. So Obsidian Flames, a little bit of a shorter print window early on, but the cards are too easy to pull. This is the ultimate game piece set, if you will. 144 boxes day one, 54 day two. So the second most number of boxes in day two next to Surging Sparks, which is pretty interesting. 395 total supply. 1 case sold each day. It looks like there's onesies, twosie buyers. There's nobody looking at this and buying hand over fist case wise. So 210 total sales, 767 total supply. Recently reprinted, available at almost every distributor. This one has a long way to go. In my mind, this is dead money for a while. Paradox Rift, another one that's fascinating. 91 boxes day one, 21 day two, but only 208 boxes on the market. And this was a product that was readily available for a while. I know Pokey Brian did a couple videos about buying $25,000 worth of cases. I know we only bought, I think, $10,000 of cases because we bought about $20,000 of Paldea Evolved. Yeah, it just kind of fell in our lap at a different time without having to buy any ancillary junk. And I use that term loosely. But the fact that there's only 208 boxes available means there's a lot of this that's just kind of being held back. And I think that's a function of the price. It was around $105 forever. It's $115 now. But it's interesting. I could imagine is this box, it's 125, 130, a lot of supply coming to market. 20 cases day one, none day two, only 10 on the market. So this one is super head scratching because I know there is a lot of supply out there from recent distro. 232 total boxes, 268 total supply. This is going to dry up super fast. Let's not mince words here. You're probably 2 months from this thing being, really, really hard to get, or pushing $120, $130 a box. Temporal Forces. This is probably where the most pressure is going to be supply demand wise of any set. And I've been mentioning this for a couple months now. 76 boxes day one, 8 day two. This has not been touched anywhere in distribution. I know we did have a little bit of leak out where one of the distributors was offering these boxes at I think $100, but you had to buy like a case of Paldea Partners tins at like full price, which was like $90. Not a great deal. It was something that we passed on, and quite honestly, I think it got eaten up pretty quickly. Listed supply 263 boxes. 5 cases day one, no cases day two, only 20 listed. So 114 boxes sold, but only 383 on the market. So the lowest supply out there in the market next to Paradox Rift, which I know that is an artificial number for Paradox Rift, it's much higher than that. Twilight Masquerade. So there were a couple pallets that came to market of this, potentially from Pokemon Center. Not really sure exactly, but 110 boxes day one, 29 day two, which is good dollar volume because the boxes are still 155, 160 before tax, 585 total. So that just goes to show that there was, a little bit of this leaked out. We went from open order to ordering 25 cases to actually getting one case in the span of about 45 minutes. So one of the distributors did open this to open order, and they must have just gotten blasted with requests. So there's definitely a bunch out there. And if you look through the list of sellers, it's all the big online stores that would have gotten a large chunk of what they asked for just based on their spend. In the exact same scenario I just mentioned, 15 cases sold. Day one, nothing day two, 57 available, 229 sales, 927 boxes of total supply. So that just goes to show there was a bunch that just came out of the market. I wouldn't call it a reprint. I'd call it kind of a restock, a second wave leaked out there. Because quite honestly, it was something that was necessary. And honestly, for it to come out the end of November, this set came out June, July. So yeah, because Stellar was September. July, August, September. So 4 months from release to having additional product leaked out. That means, you're probably looking February for Surging Sparks, which is kind of the earliest number that everybody's talking about. Stellar Crown, this is the big sleeper in my view. Still available at distro in the 90s. 101 boxes sold. 35 day two, 865 boxes of total supply. But a month ago, that number was 1,700. So boxes are getting bought, sold, ripped. And when we go into the singles, you'll see why. There's a couple singles there that are quite honestly in high demand. And I think it was a relatively low printed set, similar to Temporal, Twilight, Surging. Kind of the trough of the adjustment for everything going on. So going to, let's see, 14 cases, day one case, day two, 84 cases on the market. So 226 total boxes in 2 days. Quite honestly, without the sale, that number's probably 40, 45. So probably the least impactful from the sale because there is a lot of interest in this. And then 1,369 total boxes. Obviously, no reprints for this, none coming anytime soon. This is probably the product that has the most on the market, but also, in my view, the most upside. Surging Sparks, no surprise here. Day one, 252 boxes. Day two, 114 boxes. 530 boxes listed supply. There's 700 and some boxes on the market, but some jackoff has 200 boxes at $7,000 each. So just throw it out the window. 15 cases day one, 3 cases day two. I think the average price on those was close to $1,200. 74 total supply, so 474 boxes in total sales. 982 total supply. Obviously, no reprint there. And if you listen to the channel, little pro tip: if you're going to buy Surging Sparks, wait till Monday. Just saying. So let's go to the singles. So let me stop share and then reshare. Let's reshare right here. So this is the singles. This is all your SV sets, not the half sets. Best selling. So Surging Sparks. The Latias is pushing $300. Milotic is $140. They still allow you to post Japanese cards, which is stupid. Pikachu EX, look at this. And this is one I've been kind of pounding the table on forever. That's a new card that was just listed. $130, then you're at $150. You're $150 on this. And quite honestly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 near mint plus this one, which, 50,000 plus sales. There's no way I'd touch that because there's no way it's going to grade well. It's just too risky. Latios, not a super difficult card to get. You have $40. But I think what we're starting to see here is, the tail's no longer wagging the dog. As we look at the single prices, they're starting to move. Oh, look at this. And this isn't from the 2-day sale. This started before. The same with Milotic. This one is pretty nuts too. You can see the slow bleed up and then obviously the spike. So in spite of all the boxes that have sold, all the boxes that have ripped, there's not a whole lot of supply here. And quite honestly, I think it's because the pull rates are difficult and a lot of people want these and a lot of people are keeping them. It's not like, you see the Terrapagos UPC out there and all of a sudden there's 60 copies of every promo for sale because the stores have just broken them down to sell them in packs to liquidate them. No, that's not happening here. People are buying the packs, they're ripping the packs, and they're getting the cards they want. Greninja here, obviously it's a big one. Squirtle, I've talked about this ad nauseum. Again, it's been a little all over the place. 139 sales yesterday, and now you're over $50 for this card. I think it's one every 2.5 boxes. Correct me if I'm wrong. Between that and the Bulbasaur, basically any IR in the set. Pikachu EX. This is your double rare. This is your cheap one. This is probably sold like 3,000 copies. Some crazy number. 209, 144. Charizard, Obsidian Flames. Again, this is really the only legit hit here. I mean, you're looking at $50. But there's a million of these. Now, a lot of them are light played, which is interesting. Almost a print quality's junk. Hydreigon, another surging card. Now this one's come down a little bit. You see a little bit of life here at the end. But if you look at all these, 38 listings, 31, 17, 10, 45. 153, obviously that doesn't really count because that's common compared to the rest. 26. Even the EX only has 37 listings for the ultra rare, which is absolutely crazy. There's no way they went. Yeah, these graphs suck. Half the time they work, half the time they don't. But we're starting to see the price of the boxes drive the singles up, which is fascinating. But what I was going to mention is Surging Sparks, Stellar Crown. Here's your Stellar Crown Squirtle, your Stellar Crown Bulbasaur. So that's what, 7 and 10. The Terrapagos, good volume selling here still. You have the Eevee picking up a little bit with the Greninja for Twilight. Obviously, the Magikarp's been here for a while. And then you go Surging. Paradox Rift, playable card. Doesn't really matter. Twilight, Surging. Twilight, Iron Crown. So this is interesting because there was a buyout on this card. What I would call a buyout. That looks like a buyout to me. 17 copies, which is not registering everything. You have a whole list of sales for today and nothing's showing up here. But right here you're 150. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 probably all newly listed. So the singles are starting to go crazy, but what I want to point out is there have been a million videos about how Surging Spark singles are dying and this and that and blah, 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 normal dump post release. And that's not happening across the board. It's really not. It's happening to some extent. And here's another one, Night Stretcher. They finally get the picture here. And this card's been kind of at the same place for a while. And that's not really a dump. And then you get into some of the Paradox Rift. Obviously there's nothing here from SV Base. Here's your other temporal card, your 2 big hits. Oh, there you go. There's Gardevoir from SV Base. But a ton of Surging cards on here. So, what I wanted to mention is, the tail's no longer wagging the dog on these boxes. You look at the box price go up, and you expect the cards to follow. If the cards don't follow, then the box prices have to retrace. And now all of a sudden we're seeing the cards follow. So, I think there's a ways to go. We're in a little bit of a basing period here. Obviously, $200 is psychological. There is a little bit of product coming to market. And, if you look here, there's a ton of onesies and twosies where people are like, screw it, we'll just sell it on here, sell it on the sale, sell it quick, and pocket $185. But I think there's room to go. And like I said, if you're looking for boxes, I would highly advise you wait till Monday. And the reason I say that is I think last year on Cyber Monday, they tacked an extra 5% off the rebate. There's so much volume and so many boxes in the market. I don't see this going to like 225. I think we're going to sit right in the 210, 215 range. So anyway, that's what I'm seeing. It's quite fascinating. And we'll see where it goes from here. So thanks, everyone. Like, subscribe, join the Discord. Seriously, because we have a bunch of product that we're going to start leaking out. The retail site's done. It's still a little clunky, but I'll probably do a video on it here shortly after this sale, because we have, about 100 orders to pack so far, and it's just going to get crazier. So, all right, guys, have a great night.